Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. We are fresh off the release of patch 6.25, and with it, a piece of content that we didn't really know what to expect all the way until it came out. Variant Dungeons and, of course, Criterion Dungeons. We're going to be talking exclusively about the content, the reward, the story. Everything's on the table here, so feel free to tag along. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy. Of course, joining me is Sly. How you doing, boss? You really are my boy Blue today. That's blue, right? I'm colorblind. I can't actually tell.
Yes, it is blue.
Okay.
Yes, I'm doing well. How you doing?
I am dead tired because it's been a long few days.
Yeah. Yeah, for you. Especially, you're being hella efficient. You are definitely being efficient doing content on content. Doing the yub tubs while streaming. I wish I had that form of efficiency, but I just like to focus on one thing at a time. So I applaud you, sir.
I applaud you for being you. How about that? That's good enough for me. There you go. And of course, we wanted to bring on, some guests for this show as well. Returning, seems more frequently as of late, is Stal. Hello, Stal. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm Stal. I'm tired too. My schedule's all sorts of fucked up now because of the dungeon.
Okay, but let's be honest with me, Stal. When is it not?
Oh, that's true. I don't think I've ever had a proper schedule.
That's what happens when you have all these NA friends and acquaintances that just ruin everything.
Mm-hmm. It's either EU or NA. It's always one of those two. I never have anyone playing on JP. It's so sad.
And making their first time appearance, well, technically not their first appearance on State of the Realm, because I'm pretty sure we got to see his doll in Stal's arms last time she was on. We have Q. Hello, Q. How do you do?
What's up, Q?
Hi. Doing pretty good. Except that, Stal just called me not her friend, so.
I was thinking that I have no friends on JP. And I'm like,
why I don't feel that way? I mean, you don't play Alpha very often, Q.
Apparently Q is Chat's boyfriend.
Oh no.
No.
Stal's chat is always like this.
Yeah, fuck them. Worst chat ever.
She means her
Only
chat,
knows
not mine. But now she also means mine. So
now she also means your chat. Yeah.
It's
worst
okay.
Community.
Worst community. It's okay. This is a good couples. This is a good couples episode right now. You got Stal and Q. You got me and Sly. It's perfect.
The fuck you mean?
Come on, Sly. Everyone always says we look cute on the show. I got Nick.
I'm adorable.
I got. There you go. See, works perfectly. You just gotta lean into it, Sly. You can't be my boy Blue and this not be a couples episode. It just doesn't work.
Sponsors. Sponsors.
You're my sponsor. You're the one who calls me. You call me Hap Daddy and Big Daddy, and you didn't think this joke was gonna come back around to bite you at some point.
I'm regretting it now.
It's all right, Slide Daddy. Anyway, sponsors for it's a two-way street, pal. Anyway, we have sponsors for the show. We of course have our sponsors over on Patreon who support. They don't have to. They choose to. We love them for it. They're in on this whole couples thing, obviously, since we love them as well.
No, the fuck they're not. But thank you.
All right, sorry, it's just me and you. Got it. Anyway, so yeah, and then of course we have Steelseries. Of course, they have the monthly giveaways. We still have our October giveaway going for a few more days, and of course we have the discount code !Steelseries in the chat or in the YouTube video. It's just in the description. And Advanced GG, which actually just released cans for a lot of their formulas as well. I should be getting those pretty soon, I think. But yeah, they've been a newer sponsor, and we have a discount code with them too. ! ADVGG in the chat or in the description of the YouTube video. So, thank you both of you for agreeing to be on the show on semi-short notice. Content week's always tough for me to remember to ask someone if they are down to do State of the Realm. Don't give me that, Sly.
I always ask you if you need help wrangling, and you don't say anything. But you know,
but you didn't ask me this week, so I got it. They're here.
they are here.
Is that not good enough in your book? Am I not good enough for
we're
you?
not good
But it
enough
is
for
last
Sly.
minute.
He just feels bad for you guys because he's just like, oh,
I really do.
I hate him.
I really do.
I said yes.
We're normally up at this time anyway. It's fine.
Against your better judgments, I'd assume.
So yeah, yes.
All right. Well, yeah, today is all about Variant, Criterion, anything you have to say, anything you want to say, story related, it doesn't matter. Everything is completely on the table here. So before we dive into any particular topics, as if we'll stick to them when we get to them, has everyone had the opportunity to mess around adequately in all of Variant and going through some of the different paths, or at least touched Criterion in some capacity on the show? Sly?
Criterion, not yet. Again, you know my thing with people. I want to do this content with people I trust, so I am waiting.
It's a good call.
I am waiting. However, I've done Variant. I can at least say that much.
Stal?
I've done Criterion, Savage, and all 12 paths for Variant. Yeah. I didn't know there was a story though. I skipped cutscenes. I'm sorry. I was too excited.
There's not even really cutscenes. It's just a book.
Well, there is actually.
Is that the only one?
Well, no, because after you, so there's the start, and there is a cutscene after you get the 12.
Oh yeah, the cutscene after. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's okay. It was good. It was heartfelt. Watch it one day, Stal.
I'm sorry. Please don't cancel me.
Done. You're done. That's it. Done. And Q, I'd assume similar.
Yeah, similar. I did a normal and savage with Stal, and I haven't done the variant yet though. Planning to run through on my alt so I can see the story, because I watched the story, unlike her.
What the? Why do you keep attacking me? I'll watch it one day. I have characters. I can watch it one day.
Okay.
One day. You can also New Game Plus it. It is already in New Game Plus if you've done all 12
really?
paths. Yeah, if you've done all 12 paths in the final cutscene, it gets put in New Game Plus.
Oh shit! Yeah, maybe I'll just do that
So
one day.
one day.
Yeah. Stal, I have a quick question. I'm gonna hit you with our first tangent of the show. Have you watched any cutscenes in Genshin at least?
You can't skip, so yeah.
Just need to take away the option, okay?
That's all it is. You just have to force her to watch cutscenes. Yeah.
I don't think you could skip like any cutscenes in Genshin. Not even fast forwarding cutscenes and dialogue. So I just kind of have to read it.
I think you can, but you have to watch it once. Like, I have to have gone through it the first time, and then if you ever, like, if there's, like, a battle scene, you can, like, skip it. Like, if there's some battles with, like, cutscenes. So I think you can skip those. But that might be it, actually. It's been a while since I've played.
I think story-wise, there isn't any option.
You know what? I trust that if there was, you'd have found it.
Yeah. Probably.
All right. Well, first off, how did everyone feel about what they've gotten to play so far? There was a big question mark about both Variant and Criterion, what the content structure would be like, what the enjoyment would be like, because it's a dungeon, but it is a whole new thing. So let's start with Q. You haven't done Variant yet, so I guess you can, or you haven't done all 12 paths yet, but you can get started with Criterion, I suppose.
Criterion. I think it was a lot of fun. I like the bosses were very interesting. I think more interesting than a lot of Savage bosses. Having 4 people I think they focused a lot more on like mechanics than like tight DPS checks, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was pretty much their only option because there's no tank swaps and you only have one healer. So
Yeah.
there's not only so much they can really do with it. Stal, on either variant or criterion, feel free to share any of your general thoughts now before we get into specifics.
I think Variant, I really like Variant actually because of the amount of things you can interact to change the mechanics of the bosses. I thought that was super interesting, and some of them requires like some really specific things that you have to do that that you will only know if you went through, I think, like a certain route, and there's like a hint to do it for a different route, and that was pretty cool. Criterion, same feelings as Q. I think that it's way more fun than a lot of Savage fights, especially since like Shadowbringers and Endwalker Savage fights are kind of for the most part. And yeah, I really like the whole puzzle mechanic thing. It makes it a lot more fun. And I think they did really well with balancing DPS with the drops like Reaper, Dancer, and even with the item level stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into more specifics about that. And Sly, you've only had time for variant. Before you even talk about variant, have you? Are you going into Criterion blind, or are you gonna take a look at it ahead of time? And
Blind.
Going in blind.
I mean, I've seen some people do some things, but it's like I can't put the heads or tails like what the fuck y'all are doing without some form of context, aka me actually doing it. So it doesn't really matter if I watch it. So once I get into Criterion, everything is gonna be like fresh. It's gonna be blank to me. I'm not gonna remember like anything another content creator has done. So yeah, I want to go in kind of blind and kind of figure things out for myself, kind of like what I did with Variant. And I my first run in Variant was okay because like I had help from some of my community and they've already gone. They did certain things, and I'm like, this is why I kind of want to do it alone, because like now I don't know what the hell you did and like which way I should go now. So yeah, I was like, the first run was interesting to say the least, but as soon as I started soloing, because that's how I'm gonna that's how I finish, is just solo. It turned on detective mode for me, and I'm like, oh, what does this do? Oh, this shit's different. Oh, and let me do this again. Wait, why are there new things? And it's just that feeling of surprise. That probably was one of the best aspects of Variant for me.
Yeah, I can second that. I went through Criterion and Savage before going back and doing the 12 paths for Variant. I have since gone back and done them. And my first thought, I had two thoughts before even like getting into specifics. My first was, okay, just replace all MSQ dungeons with variants from now on. Just do that.
Exactly.
Instead. And two, I better have a roulette for this before the end of the expansion. So it was fantastic. It's everything people have asked for in a casual dungeon experience in 14, just not in the dungeons that you have to go through for the game. Which is, obviously a direct run. And they're pretty quick. I mean, they're regardless of your decision making and what path you go. I mean, you're looking at the average length of an expert dungeon anyway. So,
right.
It's I think they hit the nail on the head with Variant, but I mean, we'll probably never get them outside of this. Maybe this is the test. Maybe they're like, oh, everyone.
Yeah. Maybe they'll start doing this for regular dungeons and whatnot.
Imagine if Dead Ends was a Variant dungeon and then had a Criterion mode. Now we got this Criterion version of the last dungeon of Endwalker, just like. And then I start thinking about that for future dungeons and stuff. And I'm like, listen, they only really made, I guess, 5 bosses technically.
Yeah.
And so you just trim them down. You just trim out a mechanic here or there, and you're good. Yoshi P, come on.
I mean, but to be fair, is this something like this is kind of on the scale of something like a 24-man, but not it's 4 people, but it's 24-man size in terms of the scale of the dungeon itself.
Yeah.
but split into 3 ways. That's all it is. So I think it could be done. I wouldn't say replace 24-mans. I like those. But
No, replace the regular 4-man dungeons. That's what I'm saying.
Please.
Just replace all of them. Yeah. It gives you tones.
Yeah.
I mean, once it has a roulette, if they don't give it a roulette, it's a massively missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it would be.
This nobody will stop running this. Like, I like doing it alone, but if you put me in a roulette, I don't care where the path takes me. And it's just I'll do it every time without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
For Criterion, I hit the nail on the head. It was actually exactly to my expectation, not a fragment off. Maybe a little harder even than I expected it to be. I knew the only way they could make it difficult was puzzle mechanics. There's nothing else you can do. It's either that or like you're never gonna get like a P8S Phase 1 style fight for 4 people that asks for nearly as much execution or nearly as much struggle or difficulty. It's just not gonna happen. So I was glad to see they leaned into that heavily. But more importantly, having done Criterion first and Variant second, it is another masterclass of teaching you bosses in normal mode and then expecting you to go into Criterion. Because, man, learning those bosses backwards was a weird experience. Going like, oh.
I agree with that. It's like Stal and I, we took the right path, so we only saw the final boss, and the first boss was the hamster was in the trailers, right? So you got to see it a bit. But the second boss, when we first went in, we didn't have a clue what we were even looking for. It's like the charge mechanic. We didn't understand how it worked at all at first. So yeah, learning it backwards, and then you go back into normal mode and you realize if I'd done this normal mode first, it would have made so much more sense.
That was an experience.
But it's also kind of a cool thing to go back the other way and see what I guess the average player experience will probably look more like as someone who does actually go through the variant and see these things and then go into it. So it does kind of maintain that teaching experience, but it kind of what I liked is it really strikes a balance between the two because there was a big discussion about the 1 week delay, them giving us that delay for normal into Savage, and that we would dissect the hell out of normal, and it would to some degree lessen the difficulty in Savage. This they can release the same day, and people who are rushing to try to be the first to beat Criterion and then into Savage, they're not going to stop and go those other paths. Most likely, they'll probably figure it's best for us to just learn while we're inside the harder difficulty because that's what we need to do anyway. So it also kind of gives you that nice balance of completely blind progging things without even seeing a normal mode and a normal mode learning curve to help with the more difficult experience.
AKA sane people.
They're going to have a 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th man to take the route that they didn't take and then figure out the mechanics and then let them know. That's what they're going to do.
and a 9th, 10th, and 11th. And 12th.
Yeah, and that other one can make it.
You could just do a 5 and a 6, I guess. Technically. Oh, no, but
you could solo it, though, the
true.
path.
Yeah.
You're just going to get 11 other people to run the other paths all simultaneously. But they don't even know how to unlock the other paths right off the gate.
Just sharing information around.
Yeah, that sounds... Please, no. Stal immediately talking like a raider and trying to take all the fun out of it. It's all business immediately.
It's what other people do, man.
It is.
They're 5th and 6th, man.
It is absolutely what the other people do. Oh, well, okay, so... We've got that. We've got our general thoughts about Variant Criterion out of the way. So let's start with the easier difficulty because we've already kind of leaned into the topic. When you first start the quest, you will be given Variant. You'll go into the dungeon, and outside of a few decision-making processes, it's pretty much identical to a normal dungeon. Trash pack, boss, trash pack, boss. But the paths, as we've already alluded to, change which bosses you'll encounter, what mechanics they have, and every run will theoretically be a different one. So the mechanics aren't too difficult, but did you at least enjoy somewhat of that experience, even on these kind of easier scale bosses, to have that kind of different experience every time? Was that something valuable to you even in casual content?
I did one puff, so you probably should ask Stal.
I love it. It was so fun. It was so much mindfuck when you do something different and like a new mechanic comes out. You're just like, what? It's just so cool. The whole experience was so cool. I super love it.
Sly?
The experience is like I love playing detective, and like I love the fact that like doing a certain thing. God, that's a giant ass bowl, my dude.
It's my lunch. I'm trying not to slurp.
That's fine. But yeah, I love the fact that just doing certain things or interacting with a certain thing can change things at the end. That's what really killed me with this. Is like I just stepped in a thing and I just did this, and now like all of a sudden mechanics change. Like what the fuck? And yeah, the I like them throwing in, you know, secrets. That's good because I expect that in normal gameplay, like outside of Variant. I expect that in normal gameplay, but we don't get that, and it was refreshing to see.
All right. Well, Q, we are going to talk about the individual paths, so hopefully you don't mind that.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
All right. So starting with the left path is the Hamtaro path, as I like to call it. It's actually not fair to call it Hamtaro because the lore of Silky is very Fat Cat-esque.
Oh, it's a dead mouse, isn't it?
Yeah, so the tail, the orb on the tail is the actual being, and the mouse is just along for the ride. Which means, by the way, for one of the mechanics called Squeaky Clean, where it rubs its back, it's actually the orb, like, just wiping the floor with a dead
rubbing
mouse.
with the mouse.
It's messed up. It's not quite as messed up as the Fat Cat, but it's pretty messed up. But that is the left path. It'll take you all the way through to Silky. The first decision you make is just to pull a lever left or right. But also, can I just say, really, Square? Shiva fireworks in some of these? Why would you... So you get... There's just occasionally some chests that are, like, worthless. They have fireworks in them.
Yeah.
But not only that, you know you get double the fireworks if you agree with Nanamo's path decision?
Wait,
What?
seriously?
It makes two personal spoils appear if you pick the same path as her.
Oh wow, an
Yeah.
extra 40 gil.
Like, they went out of their way to make that a mechanic for a firework.
Right. Now let me ask you all this. Like on your first Variant run, did you follow Anonymous path, or did you just, say fuck that, I'll do what I want?
We followed.
Yeah, we followed.
Y'all are sheeple. Fuck that. I do
We're
what I want.
respecting Blalafels.
What's that? What's that? What do you mean?
The Lalafels or the respect? Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, that thing. For
Blamaster race.
Is that why you changed your VTuber model away from a Lalafell? Because they're the master?
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
She's still carrying a Lalafell, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Good save, Q.
Good save. Is that a Lalafell with cat ears?
It's the fox ears, the Tamamo hit there.
Oh, they are. Okay, there you go. I had to do it. No, it's otherwise. It is 3 Lalafells on the show to 1, whatever, Hume.
Here,
Sorry, Hume is Final Fantasy 11. My instincts always kick in with that one.
Oh God.
Oh, Sly. It's all right. You said you've been enjoying yourself. That's a-okay. And no, she actually went. I said we're going right beforehand, and she followed us. So Nanamo just knew where the fun was going. But yeah, the extra chest. But the left path, the first decision is you have to turn a crank left or right, and that either raises wind turbines or leaves them down, and like giant balls like just fly across the screen. That's all that really happens with the first bosses. It's just like one of two mechanics. You make a decision right before the boss, and it just changes that one particular thing. That Hecaton share, an otherwise fine fight, but some of the mechanics it adds across all 6 of the first paths is a little weird. Specifically, the right path. You know what the condition is for the second mechanic on the right path? Because there are 2 mechanics to every path, but there's no interactable on the right side. You have to kill the Malboro first in the last trash pack before the first boss. If you do that, it becomes filled with ceruleum, and it changes one of the mechanics. Yeah.
I did that inadvertently.
Yeah. That's the only one that's kind of weird. Is the killing the Malboro first. And I don't know how he does that. How he signals to his friends like, yeah, just flood it. But that's all the first bosses. First, how do I ask about the first boss? I don't know. It's kind of weird because like I want to talk about the bosses, but they're dungeon bosses at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like these are really dungeon bosses. So it's like, and this also is the only information that doesn't help you in Criterion, which I was actually kind of surprised. There's 2 bosses in here that aren't in Criterion. Were you surprised that they didn't use them in any capacity, especially the last one?
I was really surprised at the right one, the very, very last one, because that was sick. I was surprised that they didn't like put it in Savage or something actually. Because they designed like a whole thing, like a whole arena, a whole mechanic, or 3-4 mechanics, and they just didn't put it in. It was so weird.
For those wondering what we're referring to, the final path, the actual end to the story, has its own separate boss than the ones that you see from the 3 individual paths. It's also an absolutely ridiculous way to do it. Even if the game does tell you how to get to that boss, it's also ridiculous that what you have to do. That's some Final Fantasy 11 shit right there. That's the truth. It's like, what is it? Like bow.
Respect V-pose kneel.
There it is. While holding the incense and targeting a tomb.
Yeah.
How can you remember that?
I was just so surprised by it, man.
Yeah, because the notes do tell you. Like, if you read through all of the path notes, it actually does give you that information. It's not like some fantasy idea that was made up. It actually lets you know to do those things, and there's lore for it in the notes, which I think going back is my favorite thing. But again, they did all that, and that boss is not in Savage. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not in Criterion. Period. I thought it would be in Savage in particular, but I'm gonna hit you with a tinfoil hat theory. Okay. Ready for it?
Okay.
So, we got 3 variant, 3 Criterion in this expansion, all right? There's 3 bosses in Criterion, and all 3 of them are going to have a secret boss. So at 6.5, we get Criterion Ultimate, and it's going to have all the secret bosses.
Fuck yeah!
That'd be cool.
I'm ready for
that.
Now, if they don't do it, I'm going to be disappointed. That's actually my only problem with this theory, is if they don't do it, I'm already excited for the idea of it happening. And it's going to be really disappointing when they don't. Not if they don't, when they don't.
Oh, yeah, that's some copium right there.
Yeah, hold on. Where is it? Where's my... Hello? Copium? Where'd it go? Hey! Where? Oh, here it is. There we go. Perfect. Found it. It was under everything.
Your cats had it when they thought they were gonna get the broth.
Yeah, no, they can't. This is my broth. Even Ivy is like she's trying to get away right now. That's fine. However, the second halves of each of the paths have far more involved and intricate methods of which to change the boss mechanics, and far more significant because a lot of those mechanics, not all of them, but a lot of them individually show up in Criterion. So I think the dungeon really shines in the second half when it's a matter of like, I think the best example is the mid path is the easiest to solve without any hints because it's the same puzzle as the Sunken Temple of Karn, or at least similar enough to it. But in the room, it tells you the hint, there's like thieves' notes that tell you about the ore sacks you need to activate an alternate place to go on the left path, which then gives you the notes to tell you about the incense on the right path. And that's, again, all that happens in the second half of the dungeon, and that's just really where this content comes to shine. Not to mention, Nanamo is actually pretty funny and interesting the entire time. I know you didn't read shit she said, Stal, but, that's fine. Am I wrong?
I read a little bit.
But if you're not reading, then what are you doing? The mobs don't even spawn until she finishes her dialogue, right?
Yeah, that's why I read a little bit.
I see.
Reading chat instead, I'd assume.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was either Nanamo or chat.
So when she's going through the next variant dungeon, everyone, I need you to type everything that the NPC is saying in the chat.
That way she'll actually read it.
Yeah, that way she has no choice but to read every single thing. Find a script of every line that they say and just be ready with the copy paste. Okay.
I'm counting on you guys. Next time they come up with a new variant, Copium.
No, that's not Copium. Variant's in
read chat.
6.45. You don't need Copium for that.
I really hope so. I hope they come up with the Criterion too, actually.
They will. We're getting a Variant and Criterion in 0.45 and 0.55.
Oh, really? 0.55 too?
Yep. That's why we're gonna get
great.
Criterion Ultimate in 6.55 also. That was like the basis of the theory,
I thought it was just this one in 0.45.
No, yeah, the only reason we're not getting one in 0.35 is because New Deep Dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sly. Right?
I'm excited for it though.
God, I remember asking that at the media tour. Yes.
You said, you got an answer. He literally said, yes, we're doing one. Like, it was as direct as you can get. So that was perfect. Yeah, we'll have our relics for the last. No, we won't, because the final relic step will be the same day as Criterion for the last one. In theory.
Oh,
In theory. That's fine. Yeah, no, we're supposed to get 3 total, just like we're getting a new island in 0.45 for Sanctuary. Ugh. Sly, don't make that face.
Oh yeah, Stal, you were supposed to come judge my island.
all right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're the reason I'm doing this, by the way. I blame Stal for me actually having to start Island Sanctuary because it was just one day I came in Stal's stream and she said, you should make it was for September. You should make a goal for Island Sanctuary, and then if you meet that goal, you do it. And we did. Thanks.
I mean, it was a good sub goal. Yeah.
So it's a better sub goal than I'll play Final Fantasy 11.
Oh, yeah.
That was a completely different thing. It was
still a goal.
Completely different. Yeah, I guess. Sure. Sure.
And I'm the one who plays 11 here occasionally, and even I thought that was a bad idea.
Y'all are so jaded on that game. I swear, man.
No, I'll show you jaded. I can find you jaded, trust me. But yeah, the left path puts you up against Silky, the middle path puts you up against the Guardian, and the right path puts you up against Shadow Seer Zanisga.
I don't remember his name.
I just call him Onamalja. Like, yeah.
I call him Big Boy because he's a big one. And the whole time you're uncovering all this different lore about Sildi, and more importantly, Nanamo's legacy and her parents and everything. It's nonstop about her parents and stuff about them, which has been a big question a lot of lore heads have wondered about for quite some time.
We actually get to see Mamamo.
Yeah. Mom. Okay. That took me a sec. It's saying it's weird. Okay. Mamamo.
There you go.
I saw her. I read, Sly.
I read too.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Oh God.
You know what's funny? You don't even have to read for that. There's a picture of her just in the book.
Yeah, it's just a picture. Yeah, it's a picture of her and her dad. Yeah.
And Papa Mo.
Papamo.
There you go.
I'll look at it after this.
No, she won't. Anyway.
I will. I'll log it.
Okay, here's what you need to do. If you want to prove it, you gotta take a screenshot and post it to Twitter.
Okay.
Okay. Deal. If I don't get that screenshot, I will find you.
Wait, then what do I get?
The satisfaction of finally looking in the book. Of actually opening the book.
I'm logging it right now.
You'll know that you participated in the content just a little more than you had before.
I got this.
You know what, Stal? You're gonna look at that book, and this is how you're gonna feel. This is how you're gonna feel immediately upon seeing that picture. You're gonna want to read the whole book.
Really?
No, but that's my hope. That was my hope at the very least. I was more surprised people knew that I knew this. Not a lot of people know. Do you know what that is, Sly? No? It's a heart. Yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna get that. Not seeing enough internet.
Do it
culture.
again? That's stupid. I mean, I see it now. That's fucking stupid.
That's stupid.
That's fucking stupid.
I see it.
That's funny. Okay. And then we have this secret boss at the end, or the 12th path. There's a secret boss, and I gotta say, so they used not the final Endwalker boss theme for this one. They used Heroes Forge Ahead, which is like the theme it plays at the end of the cutscene, when you're leaving, not Elpis, or you're leaving the Tysus at the top when you get saved. It's a song that plays there. It plays in a few other spots. I think it plays when Emmett and Hythlodaeus come out as well in the final sequence. And holy mo! I didn't realize how good of a boss theme that theme was until it started playing. Oh yeah, Stal. Sorry, that's a story cutscene. You won't recognize it from there. Where's another place that it plays?
Okay.
Stal's like, why did I come on this show?
Well, am I here just to suffer?
No, we're having fun.
Yes, Stal. You'll
Payback for puns.
If it's payback, why am I doing it? I like when she makes puns. There haven't been enough puns on this show.
Q will save you from this drought.
Oh my God.
I'll try.
No, don't try. No, there's no need to try. You're good.
To be fair, we actually can't avoid puns on this show, Sly, much to your dismay. Not because of who's here, but because of Criterion. Criterion is... The boss ability names are very punny. More so than usual, especially the first boss. So, you kind of can't avoid the puns that are about to join. But overall, Variant, great. Criterion, that's kind of the meat of the content for most of us here. And will be for Sly. What day are you going in, Sly? Because I want to watch that. Do you know?
Only next week. Next week.
Did you just mute yourself, or were you mumbling too? I didn't hear anything.
I said probably next week. I had to,
muted.
like, I had
Or
to
maybe
stitch
my
off
headset messed up.
Yeah, he's fine
Are
for
you-
me.
I think maybe my headset messed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, your headset messed
Oh,
up.
I'm dumb. It's me. I'm sorry. It'll be fixed in a second. No Discord. My audio device disconnected because I pulled on it a little much. It's back now, I think. Or not.
You sure?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying probably next week. I got to do the schedule for next week on Sunday anyway, but yeah, next week.
Okay. You want to know how it became unplugged? I went like this and leaned back, and the bowl was on the wire. The bowl of soup was on the wire. God damn it. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Let me know, because I do want to watch that, because watching people do it blind has been very fun on Twitch. But yeah, Criterion, after you finish a single path on Variant, you can go and unlock that. And you pop in, you got your group of 4, and they already have some things they've done with it that I think are pretty interesting, especially given the discussions we've had as of late. How did we feel about their adjustment to the damage that players deal, specifically adjusting for jobs that rely on providing party damage in usual endgame content, and just kind of looking at certain jobs and just buffing everyone's damage relative to what your composition is for your jobs?
Oh, it's great because we brought Scholar, Dancer, Reaper, so I think it would have been pretty bad without any adjustment.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we weren't BIS 2. I think.
Yeah.
Like some people are missing chest pieces and home pieces and stuff. And if the DPS check was super comfy, actually, didn't have much issue at all. Yeah.
I do remember in previous interviews, the devs they've mentioned that a consideration they had when they were thinking about making harder format content was that the jobs aren't balanced for light parties. So I guess this is their answer to this problem that they were having.
Sly, what?
He actually did it. I just got it on my watch. He actually fucking did it. I'm doing the reading thing.
I'm doing the reading. There we go. There. Well, to be fair, you read the word Sildeed survey record, and there's no other text in the picture. So it's a start.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, there we go. There are words. There are indeed.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fairly interesting way to approach the problem. I don't think it completely resolves some of the other issues that some jobs get at. I think it resolves the issue that has been, I guess, it's been the centerpiece of just every job discussion, just nonstop, especially with the way P8S went and everything. So you can't help but imagine this was something they planned before the last 8 weeks, but it almost feels like a result of the discussion from the past 8 weeks. It's kind of hits that weird middle ground there. I do think there are some jobs that still don't do well in there or well enough. I think White Mage maybe isn't my first pick as a healer for this content, personally.
Noted.
Yeah. You're thinking about that for next week? Were you going in with? They're fine. They can do it. It's just if I were to be given a choice.
No. Keep saying. No. Keep going. Don't. I'll take everything into consideration. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. You guys said you ran with a Scholar though. I ran with a Sage. How did Scholar end up faring in there?
Ooh, very comfy on boss, terrifying during ads. I think Q can agree with that.
Yeah. It was just like, yeah. Well, that was more of Savage. In normal, Scholar was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think normal you have anything to worry about too much. I'd say that's true of all jobs, all 19 of them. There's really nothing. But man, when you get into Savage, I've never seen so much damage.
Oh yeah.
It's so much damage. And I'm sure nobody knows that better than Q here, who tanked specifically for Stal's group. When you got hit, so most people pulled the very first mob you pull is the Belladonna.
Yeah.
Did you survive the tank buster the first time?
No.
Yeah. That hurt. I think we had faint and a 30%, and our tank died to the buster and an auto immediately after.
Oh yeah, 30% is not enough.
It's insane how much damage it actually does. And in normal Forge, I don't think it really reacts too much differently than your standard dungeon, other than the fact that if you try mass pulling, you're probably just going to die to the AoEs overlapping more than anything else. Because it's it's a Belladonna and a Calic. The Calic is like sweeps left, sweeps right. And then the worst pull in the whole dungeon is the Udambara and the two Saprias in the first section. They just sucks. I don't know how else to describe it.
Which ones are those? I
Is
don't
that the one
remember the
on the left?
Yes, that's the one on the left.
Oh yeah,
Fuck that.
yeah.
Oh,
That is the worst pull.
So the mechanic there is the Saprias both do a giant conal AoE, and the Udambara does one of three AoEs. Either hits 180 degrees back left, 180 degrees back right, or forward about like 90 degrees or something. And yeah, they all just overlap and you die sometimes because it sucks. And there's no other way to describe it. And also they push each other and there's a rock.
Yeah, the pushing is like I'm trying to angle the small ads, and then they just push each other, so the angles get all messed up, and you can't. Then actually we struggled a lot on that one until we realized for left and right you can just stand in front.
Yeah, that's one of those. The people who are really paying attention in normal mode had probably a better time at first, but it still sucks. I don't think there's any disagreement, because also the tank you get trucked by double autos at the start of every pull, and when there's 3 mobs, that's not great.
Yeah,
That's the most toxic part of all the trash. Everything double autos as soon as you pull it, and you just lose all your health.
And the autos hurt so much as well.
Yeah, they're like 30-something thousand a piece from each of them. They just massacre you.
A third of your health gone. It's per hit, and then they hit twice, so you're like nearly dead, and then your healer's panicking,
and then the best part is when your ranged DPS hits them first.
Sorry, we did not encounter this issue. The person that did that was actually the healer. It wasn't me.
That's rare. Actually, it's not that uncommon, but a range normally makes that mistake once. Or you have the melee who gap closes in.
Oh no. I mean, in dungeons it's fine, but if you do it in Savage,
listen, I saw their target. The like arrow that says I'm hitting. And I was like,
bro, I'm afraid to
good.
even touch anything now. I'm afraid to even just like press a button. I'm afraid to like do anything now. What the hell?
Just don't pull before the tank.
Just wait for 2 GCDs, then pull.
I will be the last one in the pack. I will not sprint. I will not do anything. I'm just gonna wait for y'all to pull. I'll be there like a GCD late, but I will be there. I'll be there.
Sly, after 2 Sunders, you can basically start the DPS. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Wait, so is this the reason that they made the change to regen, not generating aggro?
Oh my god.
No, I think that was a good idea no matter how you spread it out, but it feels very, very timely, because that would have been awful here. Yeah, and it never gets better. It gets worse actually later on when you do the second set of trash packs. But you have those first few trash packs, and then you get to Silky. Now, we both did the right path. We both didn't see Silky before going into Criterion. And fuck that mouse. That's it. Fuck that mouse. That was and I mean that sincerely, because your boy here didn't know that there were a wind and a lightning tail until about 25 minutes in, when I finally realized they were 2 different elements, because they look exactly the fucking same to me.
Yeah, that's why I wanted. Actually, people in my group brought it up as well. How do you tell the difference if you're colorblind? Can you see?
One's going. That's it. And eventually you just kind of learn there's only one possibility. Like the game, you eventually realize it's a lot more scripted than it seems. Like once you're familiar with it, so you just know that which ones can be wind and which ones are not. So
Yeah. I
that's
actually think. Yeah.
that's just how 14 works, man. That's fucking how
Yeah.
it works.
The,
They
the
did not want
casts
us.
actually have different names as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's and you know what? If you do normal, you know that because they're in normal.
Yeah.
We didn't do that first, so I didn't know. I was just like, why is this broom killing? It's 2 lightning brooms, and wait, why is one's a donut? What's the
Oh,
difference? Wait, why is one lightning a donut and one's what's determining that? Maybe it's the lightning that the boss hit. What is that? Is that wind? Is this a wind one? Oh, fuck. All right. Yeah, that was an awful. Then I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of issues with color blindness in all of these fights because they were like, let's just stack everything on top of each other and hope they can fucking see everything. And
What?
no,
What about PDS? Did you have issue with the colors in Phase 2? Concept.
No, the concepts are actually easy. The lightning and the water, the effects are more pronounced, so I have an easier time telling the difference. I actually struggle with Dominion more. The ground AoE pulsing.
Oh.
I can't, like, they just blend. Like, the floor is even a similar color to them. So I have to, like, I'm like, double the brain power. I'm just like, which is why the fact that it's optimal to do 2s in the middle of Dominion really fucks me. I put out my 2s and I'm just like, where are they?
Yeah, it's really hard to see. I have a bit of difficulty looking at it.
I asked my group, I was
And
like, can
I'm
we
not
just
even
be unoptimal?
I'm not even colorblind.
I was like, can we just be unoptimal and just save 2s and do them at the start of the phase? Because, like, there's a lot of brain power involved here, and I'm not really feeling it right now. I don't know that I'll ever feel it, to be honest. But yeah, no, this expansion has been really bad for me as a colorblind. Actually, it started getting bad in Bozja. I remember the fucking Sartavois fight, the duel. I couldn't see the phoenixes until I turned on colorblind mode. It's a fucking acid trip. P3S isn't even that bad because there's not that many AoE markers on the ground. It's just ugly to look at. P3 normal is
Probably
awful.
just normal. Yeah, normal mode should be quite awful.
Yeah, normal mode absolutely terrible. I haven't had anything as bad since First Coil. First Coil, when we had different colored markers, like they didn't pop as much, and they were on orange crystals to boot. It was the worst experience.
Coil.
Yeah, that was
The trash in First Coil?
Yeah, the trash in First Coil.
Oh.
All these boomer talk.
All right. Come on now, Stal. That one's fair. You know what? I can't even defend against that. I got the legacy mark. My sub's only like $7.99 a month. It's fine. That's
Is
literally
that flex?
No,
Is flexing?
that's my boomer mark.
Man.
You're the one who called me a boomer. You brought this on yourself. Okay? And you're quasi boomer.
That's
Not that bad.
You started in
Late
Heaven's
Heaven's
Ward.
Late Heaven's Sword, yeah.
Heaven's Ward's pretty boomer at this point.
Oh man. It's been like 6 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, 2015 Heaven's Word came out. So, yeah, you're looking,
That's
and then
rough. I wasn't even 20.
It's like a lifetime has gone by since then.
Yeah.
Things are so different than they were 6 years ago.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm the 1.0 boomer here. I apologize. Q, you're not a 1.0 boomer, are you?
No, I started in 2.0 beta.
Okay. I am the ultimate boomer. It's fine. I accept this honorary title. But we get to, so anyway, back to Silky. Back to this fucking mouse. This is a really good fight, don't get me wrong, but I was really soured right from the get-go with that fucking color problem. That being said, Silky starts and immediately you are thrust upon by these brooms and these elements and everything. This was probably the least puzzly, I think, maybe of the. Well, no, I think the second boss is the least puzzly. This wasn't. This was one of. This was less puzzly at least than the final boss. Is there any part in particular you struggled with learning this first encounter, having not seen it in normal mode?
Well, I remember our first difficulty was trying to figure out what was causing us to get frozen.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, that feels like a lifetime ago, and it was Tuesday. Oh. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we were testing out lots of dumb stuff.
Okay, no, hit me with something. What? Give me some examples. You can't say that without examples.
I think the first. What did we test out? It was like, oh, maybe hitting one of the brooms will cause it to freeze. So we were trying to aim it in between the brooms and not hit the brooms. And then we were trying. I'm pretty sure we tried putting the stack in front, which obviously they just died.
Well, they weren't frozen, so it kind of worked.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you remember what else we tried?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Oh, yeah,
Has it been that long?
It was.
It's like 3 days ago.
We tried putting the tank
my
in
God.
front. Didn't work. Yeah. I maybe I'm getting old too. I don't remember. I just remember we couldn't figure it out until Stal said. Actually, Stal was the one who noticed it. So thanks, Stal.
Oh,
Thanks, Stal.
thanks, Stal.
Stall didn't know
Thanks,
that
Stall.
Stall was the one who figured it out. That's what just happened. Like, oh, there you go. Yeah, that definitely was an initial throw for a loop. Well, for us, it was some people were frozen and some people weren't. And we were just like, why them? And then for us, I know we realized it because one run we had, okay, let's do exactly this. And everyone went there and I said, don't move. And we all got frozen. And I was like, that's what it is, isn't it? So I know that's how we came to the realization at some point of chilling suds, which
I think Stal realized it. She just said it's ice. We should move because there's other ice mechanics in the game where you move.
Yeah, I think I just said that.
And that's quite frankly
Probably.
one of the most toxic things that mechanic could ask you to do.
What, move?
Move. Because that mouse has watched a Fast and Furious movie before. That motherfucker Tokyo drifts all over the place if you're moving.
The drift. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, it throws me off so much.
Have you had... You said you had a dancer in the group, right?
Yeah.
Did they ever
Yes,
on avant right as the slide was going out and drag the boss like a mile away?
No,
Oh,
I didn't do that.
Stal is a very safe player who always goes to the position early.
Yeah,
just
but the problem
pre-position.
is you can be there early, but the mouse will keep following you when you try to leave for the first few seconds.
Yeah. And I think what's happening is like the mouse it has the charge has an animation, but it can't like turn mid-charge. So it plays the animation, then I'm guessing it moves the mouse to where you were when it hit you. So then it drifts and it looks.
I hate it.
Yeah, you try to on avant to get to the intercards, and it's like, nope, I'm coming with you. That's exactly we had that happen one time. We had, because this happens with all of them. Like, it's not just chilling suds, but chilling suds is the only one that actually asks you to be moving. So I started just jumping in place. So I was just doing this, which then sometimes made dodging afterwards a little less than thrilling. But you don't need to talk about that. That's okay. That's fine. But the other ones will still do the same thing. I remember we had a fizzling suds, which you have to go to the four, like you have to all spread out. And the dancer tried to on avant to their side, and it was just like, just brought the whole boss
God.
full on avant away from the team. And we're just like, I guess we'll die now because there's no way we're gonna do this. So yeah, that's frustrating. But it was also, I don't know about you, but the one thing it took us a little longer to realize, and even that was that you could freeze the broom period. So you guys tried that to save yourself. We were just like focused on not getting frozen in the first place. So that's an important lesson you have to learn very quickly as well, is that you can change the color of the broom by having the boss does teach you that with the mechanic prior, but you don't realize, I guess necessarily, or I didn't, that you can change with any attack, I suppose.
Yeah.
So.
I guess that's the point. That's like what the first sweep is supposed to be trying to teach you, right?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Sly, you know what the first AoE is called? Or the first that first sweep is called? Squeaky clean. Because it's a mouse and it squeaks. And it's washing everything.
Great.
I mean, I've seen it in normal, so.
Yeah, but there it's called squeaky left and squeaky right.
Right, yeah. Based on which way it's gonna go. Yeah. Not bad. Low hanging fruit. Try harder. Actually, don't try harder. Why am I saying this?
Q's like, all right, let's see. Where's the notebook? I gotta pull this one out for Sly. It's okay. We'll get him. We'll get him sooner or later.
Yeah, keep trying. Or don't.
We will. I think, though, what probably remained to be the biggest troll thing across the entire fight is baiting the brooms with the tether.
Oh yeah, fuck.
So there's two different instances in the fight where a broom tethers to you, and then it will move a fixed distance. So regardless of how far away you are from it, it only moves a set distance.
Yeah.
And then when it lands there, that's where it does its mechanic from. So if it's ice, it's a cross AoE. If it's thunder, it's like it's an umbrella corp AoE. That's what I'll call it. And then if it's wind, it's a donut. But it changes the direction the broom is facing, so the orientation of everything gets thrown off. So when people are trying to figure that out, everything's just aim all over the place, and the aiming of the movement is very precise.
Yeah, so I think it's like if you do things like diagonally, then you have to, change. So the plus becomes an X basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I haven't seen like what your group did, but there was one pattern where we put the blues into the corner diagonally to solve the mechanic.
Yeah. No, we have one where we do that too. It's everything. If it's mid unsafe, you just send everything directly away from the center. Was what we did. So regardless of if they're on the cardinals or the intercards when they start, you just send them directly to the wall. Just opposite of the boss.
That would work. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did something weird.
We originally did too. We had like, ice needs to be on the cardinals and the lightnings need to be like on the intercard, but in this particular area, it was, I don't know. The spacing makes complete sense in your head, but as soon as the brooms are tethered to you and then on the ground, you're like, wait, am I fucking dead? Oh yeah, I'm dead, aren't I? Fuck. All right. How did who did that? Wait, why is that one? Just do it right next time. I don't want to think. Then you're like, just be mid safe. Just be mid safe. Nobody messes up mid safe. Everyone understands mid safe. That one's just ice inner card. The Thunder's cardinal. Everyone gets it. But the one where the mid's not safe, everyone just loses it. But that's not even the section that I feel like people struggled with. That's one of them. But later on, there's 4 ice brooms that tether to everyone, and then you have to bait them to one side so they don't get their color changed. That one is, for some reason, so cursed.
It turns out getting FF14 players to run in a straight line is quite difficult.
Did we have a hard time with that?
We kept. I mean, it happened quite a few times that the brooms they weren't baited straight, so they hit each other and overlap. And when they touch each other, they explode and wipe you instantly.
And then you have my favorite is when someone says left and you see that one person go right. You're like, no, your other left, your other left.
I'm sorry, that's me.
Stop it like
I
that.
panicked.
Wow.
I panicked. Said left. I didn't know. It was a lot of commitment in the moment. I didn't. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, it's very, very precise, and you don't have too much room to kind of open anything up because of the angle changes. You know, if you aim them at a diagonal, then it ruins one of the other safe spots, or at least greatly reduces the amount of safe spot that you actually have to work with. We actually ended up coming up with a very different solution for that because we got tired of killing each other with brooms overlapping. We got so very tired of that happening. So we took a lockout to make Hamtaro uptime.
Oh no.
No, it's actually really everyone just stands behind the boss, and when you know it's left or right, you all just move together and then stand in front of the boss and it's safe. And that's it. There's no like running to the back of the room or anything like that. You don't even have to know what room you're tethered to. Yeah.
It's super cool.
We were like, oh, thank God this works, because we had so many runs where I just look in the back of the room and I'm like, all right, there we go, and we're dead. We're just dead. That's all there is to it. But it's I don't know what it is about just aiming. I mean, do you think they could maybe make it a little better? Like maybe put an arrow over your head so you can see the exact angle? Because I think one issue is the broom is doing this like.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, it's hard to see where the broom actually is, but I think like I think you're meant to use the lines on the arena because the brooms spawn exactly on the lines.
Yeah.
But the sweeping it makes quite a few of the mechanics a bit more tricky to figure out exactly where the center of the broom is. Also, I think one thing is like you said, the broom moves a fixed distance, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of players who they try to just sidestep the broom and they don't move out far. They just like take one step to the right or to the left. But I think the problem with that is if you do that, if you're off by just a little bit because you're so close to the broom, it amplifies like the angle. So it makes, since you're so close, if you're like just a little bit in front, the movement of the broom off becomes way worse, and that's what causes a lot of the overlaps and wipes. So I got my group to just no one stands next to everyone, just runs as far as they can.
Yeah, that's fair. That's one way to at least try to mitigate the issue. It doesn't halt some of the other things that can still happen, but it definitely it definitely creates some degree. Stal, I'm not talking about you. This isn't a bully Stal show, Stal. You just keep. It's just the story thing.
Bullying yourself.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're ratted on yourself, and that's not a boss pun. I swear.
Oh my god, that'll be the good one.
Sly's upset.
Slice out.
Yeah.
I saw him hit mute mic, and I was just like, there you go. It's just like, I need to be away from you at the moment. There are some other things that are, I think my favorite thing is the thing that happens, I think it's the third mechanic where you, it's 8 brooms in the middle. It washes 6, you do 2, and then you have to turn 6 of them into ice. That actually took us a little bit to think of. I was just like, oh, well, what the fuck do we do with these? And then turn them all to ice. And it was one of those very clean looking, crisp mechanics that just feels good to do.
Oh, one of those aha mechanics where you just like you get it and then you just feel good. Yeah, I love those.
Oh wait, I thought you were saying clean looking because they're brooms.
Oh my god.
Sly was really excited to come back into the conversation too, and then once it's started, it just keeps going. You know, you're not gonna wash away this problem.
Oh, But yeah, that mechanic was interesting. I think as soon as I saw the charge after, then I thought to try to position the boss. Actually, that's one thing I like about the hamster Hamtaro fight a lot. I feel as a tank, this one hamster, I have to do more boss positioning than the entire tier of Abyssos.
All right, can we leave P8S out of this? Like, that's come on.
And
Oh,
P7,
actually, though, as a tank, yeah, I guess that's
and
true.
P6.
Yeah.
Only P5 has boss movement in Abyssos.
Yeah, that's true.
This
Actually,
hamster
you're right.
has way more boss movement.
I was thinking more movement. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, no, this hamster jumps around a lot. I actually like that the tank buster is a movement mechanic also.
Yeah.
Just adds that extra layer. You got to make sure it lands in the right spot. But that first boss, definitely a big wake up call and a big message sent to everyone who went in the first time. Because I don't think anyone really thought that the first boss was going to be, well, everything that was, or any of the bosses even.
Yeah. I think like for me, normal was a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah, because we thought, I mean, I think they're kind of on the point. These don't, it's weird because I wouldn't say they're not savage difficulty mechanics. But at the same time, if I had to do some of this stuff in an extreme trial, I just wouldn't get them out ever. I wouldn't PF it. I just wouldn't bother.
Yeah, I do think it's harder than, like, some of the mechanics are more complicated than what you would see in extremes, I think.
Yeah, despite the comparison that they made. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And then speaking of more extreme, then you get to that second ad section.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Stal.
Yeah.
Do you like standard step?
Oh my god, I hit one of the mobs while doing it ever since then. I was like, no, none of that shit.
Our
None of
dancer,
this,
the
I'm
dancer had the
holding
same
it.
thing happens.
I was telling
Fuck
her,
that.
hey, I was telling her that, you know, I wish standard step could hit enemies through walls.
No.
Hey, their AoEs hit
fucked
us
up.
through walls, so it's only fair. Yeah, so the second section is the Metal Gear Solid section. There's 4 mobs, 2 Dullahans, 2 armors, and they patrol around in a set pattern. And you just have to try to clear them out without fighting more than one at a time. Otherwise, they're deliberately designed to ruin you if you fight them more than one at a time. It's an absolute disaster. This was, I think, my favorite section of the dungeon for a trash section. Because we don't get interesting trash in 14. We never do. Even DRS, only the slimes at the start, like the gauntlet at the beginning, is interesting trash. After that, they're just like mini boss fights, you know. But this,
I think it was great.
This was creativity. Yeah, this was good. I thought this was incredibly well done. Stal?
No.
Why not?
Q had this like really cursed strat for Savage. They wanted to tank the ad in the middle, and I'm like, but my dance! Like, what am I gonna do? Am I just never going to dance? So it's like, what?
Oh,
No, I was
okay.
very against it.
So my strat plan, which we ended up not doing because it is a terrible plan, was so, you know, when you jump off the platform. My perfect plan was to put the ad we were fighting right there in the middle. And if we saw something walking down one of the corridors, so either the left or right, we would just run to the other side. And it was a terrible plan.
How long did you do that plan?
One
I'm-
pull.
Yeah, I said no so fast. I said, if you want to do this, I'm swapping over to like Bard or Machinist. I don't have a weapon, but like, fuck it.
If
I'm
Stal
not
offers
playing
to go
that side.
Bard, that's bad.
That's saying something.
Yeah, That's abandoned immediately. Because Stal will never offer to go Bard, ever.
Yeah, so that plan
Yeah,
lasted
fuck
one
the
pull.
job.
Yeah, I think what most people end up doing is you find a good rhythm and you bring one to a side and just kill it before the other one loops back around. I think that's what most people landed on. I don't see any reason to do it any other way.
I think I saw Ren this morning. Shout out to Ren, by the way, trying to slick dick it and like tank 2 of them at the bottom, like the ones at the like I guess you'd call it the bottom. Like get as much DPS as one, let the other one hit. I mean, it seemed slightly manageable.
Maybe on normal. Not on. I wouldn't. On normal, I might risk fighting 2 at once if it's like 2 Dullahans or 2 armors. But if it's one of each,
Armors,
not a chance. Yeah, the armors you can do that with because the armors actually don't do a lot of damage. But that's a lot of risk. In Savage, I don't think I would ever chance something like that. It's so scary to fight 2 at once.
Yeah. Normal was great. The early pulls where you're like, you know, you don't understand the patrol patterns, so you send people down the corridor to like scout when something's coming, and then they're like, oh, something's coming, and then you try to drag the boss, but then behind you there's another one. No, it was great.
Yeah, every group I've watched get there the first time, somebody jumps down, they start fighting one, and I think what's happened 99% of the time is a group grabs a Dullahan first, doesn't know it has a point blank AoE, tries to move out at the last second when it appears, and then they run into another one and it's instantly over. I think that's exactly what I've seen happen with almost every group. But they're deliberately designed so that you can't fight one of each at the time, because one does a bleed first and one does a 1 HP mechanic first. So they're like very much designed against each other. One also heavies, one does a giant AoE, and one also trucks the tank for 50,000 in auto on Savage. So that's probably that's more intense than most Savage healing, I think, is having 15 seconds of this like 20,000 damage per tick bleed, and the tank is taking like 40 to 50k autos.
Yeah, my scholar was screaming.
I'd be screaming too. I'd be like, thank God for curing waltz, please. Please.
Yeah, I've never heard any healer beg for curing waltz in my life until we went to Savage.
And improv.
Yeah. That was
great.
Great. I felt useful. I like that.
It's a rare feeling in Rain Fizz. I know that. I've been there before. Yeah. Everyone's like, can we replace you with another caster? And like, no one would care. Like, please take me. It's what I want to play. I'm sorry, I'm not a melee.
I give the 1%. I should be good enough.
November 1st, Stal. November 1st.
Oh.
Yeah. We get... Fizz range gets buffs. In November.
Machinist buff, copium.
I mean, it'll be stronger. It just won't be stronger than anything else. That's something, though, right? Like, that's a start. You know. Maybe?
Hopefully they don't buff Bard too much.
They're going to buff Bard. They're going to buff it, Stal. It's going to be the best.
Buff Dancer more? So
no,
I can stay Dancer?
It's going to be the best one. You're going to go into 6.3 Ultimate, and they're going to be like, hey, Stal, Bard's #1.
Q, you better go find a new Fizz range just in case, okay?
Oh, no.
Hey, Machinist was in the world first group for Criterion Savage, so, you know, fixed.
I wanted to play Machinist, actually, but I didn't have the weapon.
Yeah, it's probably a good call to not play the job without the weapon. So you get through this stealth section, you go on to the second boss. The second boss is the Gladiator. He's the final boss from the middle path in Variant. And this was, I wouldn't say it's the weakest encounter of the 3, but it was certainly the most straightforward of them. It's almost like a break between the first and the third boss. So where do I start with this one? So first of all, another one I really wish I'd done normal before first, because a lot of shit's a lot clearer if you've done normal.
Wow. Again, y'all are fucking insane for doing this without like knowledge. Like sane people actually like knowledge. Y'all just went in and just Why wouldn't you? I mean, I understand you're content creators and you want to get shit done fast. You want to get shit done as fast as you can. But knowledge.
I mean, I don't watch boxing, Sly. Do you get that joke?
No.
People in chat will get it. It's fine. That's all that matters to me. It's a YouTube thing.
Okay.
Not my YouTube, just like general YouTube thing.
Hmm.
They'll explain it to you later. It's fine.
Please.
Okay. Yeah. If I explained it to you, you'd get it too. No, not the guy who has the Lamborghinis in the garage, chat. Not with Ty Lopez. Not him. No, not that guy. I love all these Lamborghinis in my garage, but you know what I value more than that? Knowledge.
Oh God, that guy.
You forgot about that guy. Never forget about that guy.
Oh my God. Not that guy.
Never forget about that guy. Knowledge.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where all of the rules don't make sense right out the gate. The big thing is that he charges the size of his AoEs, and there's different colored animations for that. I had no idea what the point is, and I racked my brain for a while trying to figure out what the difference was in the color of the pulse.
And then you just realized it was just sequential, right?
I realized that if it's a red pulse, he'll pulse again, and if it's a gold pulse, he's done pulsing. So you can predict the mechanic.
Oh, shit. Really?
You can predict what his patterns will be based on which pulse you get before you see another pulse.
I did not know that.
I did not know that too.
Yeah, it took me. We didn't figure it out day one. I figured it out day two. So the very first mechanic is something called Spectre's Might. It's in the normal mode. It's the one where he goes to the corner and he dashes a set number of ticks away and then does the front AoE and then the back AoE. Except it's two specters that cross the arena at the same time. So it makes like a triangle safe spot instead of a half room. But there's like patterns where it's like one pulses one time and the other pulses 3 times. And then they both pulse 2 times and one pulses 3. And I'm sitting there being like, 1, 2, 3. Like just fucking sitting there. You can tell how many pulses it is. You can tell the exact pattern by the time you see the first pulse. If the first pulses are both red, it's a 3-2 pattern. And if one of the pulses is gold, it's either a 2-1 or a 3-1 pattern.
Yeah.
So I just didn't figure that shit. I was sitting there like counting and like trying to react last second. And then it got a lot easier after that. And that's something if you did normal mode. Or maybe you would know, depending on how much attention you paid. But in normal mode, it has like a tick counter under him that like shows you a bar that explains exactly what's going to happen. And that's not there in Savage. And it's I was mad about that. I think most of the other stuff, though, normal doesn't help with that much, actually. Thinking to it. Like Visage, normal doesn't help with that at all. Because it's like 4 quadrants. You have to dodge everything and then have an Earth AoE. And then the other one is you have to get hit deliberately.
Maybe the one where you go out and then you have to go back in with the twister and the stat.
Is that in normal?
Yeah, that one's in normal.
Well, the ring is in normal, but the debuffs.
Just the ring.
Yeah, I think just the ring is in normal, but everything else is different. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this felt more like akin to your standard endgame encounter. There wasn't really a whole lot of puzzles. It was just some visual clarity with the debuffs. Yeah. Oh,
I think the most puzzling thing in the fight. The most puzzling thing in the fight is that the tooltip of the debuff is wrong.
Could you beat it so hard?
Yeah, it's the I think the spread says the spread says the stack or the stack says the spread? I don't remember. It's one of the two.
No, it's the
it's the color for the orbs.
The golden
as well.
and the silver.
Oh, right. They tell you have to be hit by it tells you have to be hit by gold or hit by silver. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, I didn't read that debuff. I just went like probably the opposite, right? Got hit. All right, it was the opposite.
Yeah, same. Actually, when I saw it, I saw the debuff. I thought, it's probably opposite because most of the time you go opposite to cleanse.
I thought the same. Then I hovered, and that's when the mistake started. That's why reading is bad.
I knew it. I knew that's what she was gonna say. I was gonna say it. I was like, this is why Stal doesn't read, because reading is bad. God damn it! It all came back around. This was Stal's moment of redemption. Yeah, but I honestly kind of needed this boss after the first boss and before the third, because that third boss is not great for colorblind people.
Oh.
First boss isn't great. Third boss isn't great. Second boss is just fine. A-okay, no problems. Bit of a damage check, bit of a mit check, heal check, whatever. Last boss. I'm so upset. They need to consider what it means when you overlap, because I think they think, oh, they're all clearly marked and we make sure the colors and the animations pop. And I'm like, yeah, but they're all right on fucking top of each other. They look this. It's all just blending together in my eyes. You can't do this. You know how long it takes me to figure out how to do all this shit. So the last boss is the Amalja. It's Big Boy from the right path, and that's a fucking boss. That's an impressive last boss they came up with for this one. I think he's the best example of 4-man Savage content.
Yeah.
So the fight starts, and you're immediately going to realize how much you hate rotating AoEs. Almost immediately. Did you all have people who couldn't do rotating AoEs in your group? Was there anyone who was...
Yes.
Are they in attendance, or are they not in attendance?
Good question.
Because I'm in attendance for my group. It's not a great thing for me. It's a good question. So what I'm saying is, was it one of you two, or was it one of the other two?
No. I think the one who struggled the most isn't here.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to check.
I think I got it pretty fast, but
I'm jealous. I just, something about it just can't register. And then they threw all the layers on top of each other, and it's now I really can't see what the fuck is going on. Yeah, I got special eyes. Okay. They only do so much.
They really made these mechanics like, I think they designed the mechanics so the first time you see them, you just look at it and you go like, what?
You know what? You see them the first time and you look exactly like the picture you gave me for yourself. for the show, you're just like,
yeah.
Guess I'll die.
No, that's Stal and H2. That's the Guess I'll Die.
Yeah, that one.
For anyone who doesn't know, for the first time I ever saw that emote with Stal, I said, why does it look like your soul has left your body? Like you're smiling through the pain. And Stal's like, no, that's not what it means. And I'm like, yeah, but look at it in isolation. Like without the other two parts, it's just like, I sure do love being.
I actually removed the other two parts, so now it's just like this forever.
I told you if you ever need to replace these emotes, that one has to stay. That one on its own is like, it's such a mood, and it is the same mood as Q's face here, but it's a mood, and it needs to be experienced. Ah, fuck, Stal alive. I feel his emote's taken on a whole new life, and I love it. It's my favorite emote. I tried using it in Discord without being in Stal's Discord, and I didn't have it. Oh, sad.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I can't join another Discord just for that. It's too many. Sorry. But so the first one is orbs that rotate and explode. They can rotate in quite a few different patterns, but I think what's very confusing about this is the sheer number of animations that are happening on the screen. But fundamentally, you can eventually break it down to 2 people pay attention to one set of orbs, and the other 2 people pay attention to the other 2 set of orbs. And I think that simplifies it a lot for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I don't look at the other side at all.
Yeah, because there's literally, I mean, there's fixed safe. There is one pattern that's still kind of dangerous. It's the one that puts all 4 people on the same side. There's one person who's got a little less space. I think it's like, it depends. It can be one of the north people or one of the south people, but you have to like kind of be in the very middle, like a line in the room or something like that. Just a little strange looking. Other than that, though, I think what a lot of people struggled with wasn't just the rotation. It's the jump part that comes right after. Dude, full on slam dunks 2 people. And I have to imagine you both sent people into the wall as frequently as we did.
Side definitely did.
Fuck that! I got sent to the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Fuck Jeff, man. Jeff, get the mechanic together. Get it together, bro.
Get it together. we ran into the issue, I'd say, for a substantial period of time. just inconsistencies with the spacing, and it's so instantly punishing. It's one of those things that when you know what the rules are on Savage, you think to yourself, fuck, we can't go into Savage if we're dying to the knockback on Fire Steel Strike.
Yeah.
It was a time.
Actually, I think there are arena markings that you can use. That I was the tank, right? So I was taking the melee spot. So I found that there's arena markings I can use to be as close to the intersection, like be as far in as possible, and I would always take those spots. You only need to remember 2 because the arena is like symmetrical, so you just flip it onto the other side.
Yeah.
For range, it's the line on the ground. It separates the squares.
I think like trying to wing it is actually really bad. It's really difficult because if you're a bit too close, someone's in the wall and the dot is like 50,000 or 50,000 or something, and they're probably gonna die. And if it happens in Savage, your run's just instantly dead.
Sure
it's
is.
15 minutes down the drain.
I think on average you're like 17 and a half minutes at that point. It's brutal. It's like getting the Dragon King and then dying to the first Exaflare. It's the worst feeling that you could possibly have as a player. That really hurt Q on a personal level.
Wow.
Sorry, Q. It's okay. We can talk about this later.
Stall? Are you an Exaflare dyer?
No,
I think he needs therapy.
DSR was just
all the vibes.
All y'all motherfuckers need therapy. What the fuck y'all talking about?
We were gonna do a DSR therapy show.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone,
all y'all motherfuckers need therapy.
I don't think there's any encounter in the game where every grown person who's done it cried immediately after. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't cry, but I was in a report group. Probably not the same.
We cried. Stall. We all shed tears.
I'm sorry.
You didn't make us cry. Why are you sorry?
You were just apologizing for everything. I'm sorry.
I feel bad now.
Sorry.
It's Styles, favorite phrase. I'm sorry. And then after a while, she's like, wait, why am I sorry?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've heard the tried and true Stall. Wait, why am I sorry? Fuck you. I'm not sorry. The tried and true. That's every. You know what? As someone who has issues within social environments, I have that phrase too. That's your. I'm out of things to say. So
yeah,
I'm sorry. That's it. That's one of my go-tos. I feel that. I didn't know Stall was Canadian. I was thinking it the whole time. I wasn't gonna say it, but now I've said it. Yeah, I struggled a lot with that. So that one's rough. You know what's funny? You only need 2 safe spots, but for some reason I do 3. There's when they go like this into each other, I just stand right between them. Instead of because you can just stand right on the wall, it's fine. But for some reason I just like standing between them. And it's fine. It doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's nice, easy.
It works. It works.
If it works, it works. Yeah, because you only need to be. It's like these two corners, or like because one person can literally go to I think the same spot on either side every single time, and the other person just needs to know 2 spots. And that's like the only difference. I have to look at the diagrams again. I just spent all morning working on the guide, and I don't want to think about it right now. But and the second mechanic I think is the pinnacle of 4-man Savage, or that entire concept of a mechanic I think is the pinnacle of 4-man Savage content. I call it tripwires because it's all about disarming the bombs.
Yeah.
And this one stumped the shit out of us for a good like lockout or so, because we just couldn't figure out why people were getting stunned by the tripwire. We were like, oh yeah, we have numbers, just disarm them, and it just wasn't working for us for any particular reason. Did you guys struggle with the tripwires at all, or did the it's pretty obvious click with you a little bit quicker than us?
I think we found out pretty early that you had to cut them in order. We were just a bit stumped at first about. We didn't think about which ones to cut first, so we were cutting the wrong wire basically.
I'm just getting blasted.
Yeah, because it doesn't work. If you cut the wrong set of wires, it just doesn't work. Because it's what was the reason, Stal, that we were cutting the wrong set of wires?
Couldn't.
I think.
Did we have a reason?
No, I think it's just people were looking at the second set of mirrors and cutting it for that instead of the first set for some reason.
Oh yeah, but I think we solved it pretty quick. Just call out which color.
Yeah. Although people even after we figured it out, people still struggled a bit to get to the right corner to cut the like. Especially, I think 3 is the hardest number.
2, 3, I think.
Two should probably be the hardest because 1 is always southwest or northeast. 3 is always
Wait,
across from them. Yeah, those are the only 2 corners 1 can ever start in is southwest or
northeast.
northeast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and 3 is always the opposite side. 3 is never on the same side as 1. 2.
I didn't actually know that.
2 can either be on the same side as 1 or same side as 3, and 4 actually doesn't matter.
Yeah, 4 can go anywhere. It's great.
Yeah. So 4 is completely free. Yeah, I've taken a lot of time to dissect this, given my weakness with some of these things. So I brain anyway. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. Ivy, please be my support animal right now.
A lot of the mechanics in the game are like this, though. They seem very complex, but then after you analyze them, you realize that they actually have only a couple of 2 or 3 patterns. So
yeah, this one was really only, I guess it's 4 because the ones can start on either side, and then the horizontal and verticals can be on either side. Yeah, but it's such a genius. It's one of those mechanics that when you do it right, it just everything is great. It's so satisfying to cut all 4 of those wires, get to the side, cut the second set of wires, get to the side, and it's such a simple thing. But like I imagine doing this with 8 people, and it just doesn't seem like as good of an idea.
I can't imagine.
Oh yeah, fuck no.
8 people, 8 wires.
Well, the thing is, there are 8 wires. So, like, the problem with it, I imagine, is doing 5, 6, 7, 8 wires. Like, you either need to do 8 individual wires and 8 numbers, or you have to do 2. Like, each of the colors is a different debuff. So it's 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4s. And then it has to be because then, like, an 8-man, what's it going to be? It's going to be like 1 blue wire cut, then the 1 red wire, and then the 1 red, then the 2 blue, then the 2 red, then the 3 blue. Like, that's like the only way to like really go about doing it.
It's starting to sound like a limit cut.
Yeah, it's literally limit cut for the wire. Sly, come on now.
That was good.
Give me that one. That one was good. Well, it was Q's. That's why it was good. He didn't realize it.
I hate all of you. I'm just here to take in the conversation, and you're ruining it. You're ruining America. So thank you, all of you.
Sly, what?
Good thing I'm not from America.
I was just gonna say I'm the only one from America. I'm the only other one. Nothing. That's it. That's it. We're just leaving it there on the table.
Mhm.
You can say I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna actually start just saying I'm sorry for the at the end of everything I say. So I'm sorry. Sorry.
She didn't give you that advice. What are you talking about?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's probably too calculative. Same thing.
God damn it. Anyway, that mechanic will come back later, and I think it comes back in a big way towards the end of the fight. But the third mechanic, Infern Brand 3, man, as if I didn't already struggle with the rotations on the first one, this really cranked. Ivy, you're gonna fucking rip my hand off. She was literally like pushing my hand into her teeth. Like, there you go. This one really fucked with my brain too. There's something about rotating. I don't know why. I'm like, okay, a clock goes this way, but where the fuck am I going? And it's just, I don't know what it is. But the third one is literally like there's baits on the inside and baits on the outside, and you have to take a portal that rotates in. You have to know whether to take the portal out or back in. Then you got to think about where your portal is going to go a few seconds later. That for me, I think this was the hardest mechanic of all of Criterion, at least for me personally.
Yeah, I can see that.
We cheesed that so hard.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't cheese it. We didn't. We
Maybe
came up
that's
with
a wrong word.
we came up with a strat that we thought worked, but actually only worked 50% of the time, and then we just lucked out every time.
Wait, what? You mean you just came up with a 50%? Oh, okay. So let me guess. You always teleported from out to in.
Yes.
And then in, yeah. I was like, that's the only thing that's 50-50.
We only realized it didn't work like in the next day.
Yeah. We came up with that strat, and I don't know, somehow for the rest of the day, we got the pattern where it worked.
Fucking confirmation bias. We went back in and did a whole new thing. Like we ended up coming up with a way that you could always go to the same exact spot depending on what your portal was. So if your portal was east, you were always north. And if your portal was facing west at first, you were always south. And then if you were rotating clockwise, you always teleported out first. And if you were counterclockwise, you always teleported in first. And even though you had one person in, one person out, you could still do all the baits with.
You can do it like 90 degrees or something.
Yeah. So we just put markers down, and regardless, once you were in a safe row, that was just your safe marker. You didn't care about whether it was in or out. Like in or out first.
We need to do that. I'm stealing that strat.
It's still kind of scary. Like it looks scarier. Like it gives me anxiety every time it goes off, but it works. And then I think the way most people probably did it without the 50-50 was just identifying whether it was in first or out first, and then going accordingly. We just got really tired of doing that and figuring out our portals and figuring out which portal was not going to send us outside of the room. So like just fucking eliminate 90% of that thinking and just east, north, west, south, east, north, west, south, east, north, west, south. That was my rat jam. I just sing that along. Yeah, Frost even made a macro. He just put it in chat. He just every time he would just put it in party chat. Yeah, if you have the east-facing portal, you're always north first. West-facing portal, always south first. And then it's just a matter of, and then clockwise always go from out to in, and counterclockwise is, wait, is that right? I might have it backwards at the moment because I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. It's the same though. It's literally you always have a set spot depending on whether you're clockwise east, clockwise west, any of that stuff.
That's a cool strat.
Yeah. That's what we spent so much. We went back into normal just to do all this shit because we were like, there's literally no point in fucking going back into Savage if we don't fully understand it. So we just started changing things in normal mode before going back into Savage.
We actually wasted time on like after clearing normal, we went into Savage straight away, and it was in hindsight, it's a waste of time. I mean, I guess practicing the ads is okay, but nah, there's no point to go into Savage until you're pretty comfortable on normal.
There it is. There's our macro. Clockwise
Oh,
east,
thank you.
portal mid to north. Clockwise west, portal mid to south. Counterclockwise east, portal north to mid. Counterclockwise west, portal south to mid. Slash Micon
Icon
for
for
thunder.
thunder.
Wait, what?
All right. Let me go ahead and put that in a sticky note.
I'm putting it in like my Discord channel too.
Yeah, it's just it's nice to have sprint or something for it. Oh, no one plays red.
There we
Mage.
go.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Okay, I don't know why that means it has to be the Micon for it, but okay, that's acceptable. Yeah, that one. If we didn't come up with that, I would still be struggling. The default way of doing it it hurts. It just hurts my brain. It's not a strong suit for me. And then it's weird because the next mechanic after that, I had way less issue with for some reason. And that's the portals being rotated and teleported. The rules for that are just kind of, they're very defined.
It's there are way fewer patterns than I thought there would be at first. And you can already tell a lot of, like, even before the portal start rotating, you can already tell a lot of what's going to happen.
Yeah, the big thing is the vertical portal. Because if the portal is out east or west, before you even know if it rotates, you know mid's not safe.
Yep.
And then if it's north or south, then you just wait for the rotation. But then what really made that easier was realizing the way to do the horizontal ones. It's literally if one is rotating towards you, you're not safe at any point. That's it. So if you're standing to the right of one and it's clockwise, you just know you're not safe immediately. And if the one across from you is like rotating counterclockwise, you also know you're not safe. So you need to like go over another row.
Yeah.
So like those few rules just make that mechanic. It's a huge break because the mechanic that comes right after is it's a trap.
The last mechanic.
Yeah. Sly. Don't.
I think on normal, I know a lot of teams who killed it before the
Yeah.
last mechanic.
We went back in the normal to practice it with like holding DPS for the entire end of the fight. Because we skipped. I think we killed it right as 3 and 4's bait was going off when we did it the first time. And that was with like deaths and damage downs and shit too. So yeah, there's a very good chance on normal you just end up. That's true of in normal we could have skipped the last set of brooms too on the first boss. I think we were at like 5 or 6% with deaths and damage downs when it finally resolves. So yeah, you could skip that too. But in Savage you can't. The bosses have like I think they have maybe like 10% more health. I don't know the exact numbers.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure how much, but it's enough that you'll probably see all the mechanics.
Yeah.
Having low DPS in normal actually useful.
Learn the mechanics, yeah.
Yeah. I think some groups they killed it before they saw the last mechanic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to Savage and was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing. But this one is like Tripwire Ultimate. Because so what it ends up being, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, is it's 2 sets of tripwires again, but it also has 4 of the baits from the third brand when you're teleporting around. So there's like these staves that do double, like 2 baits to the nearest players. So fortunately, the idea of solving it is actually very easy. It's one of those like there's really no ifs, ands, or buts on how to do it, but it's very executionally tight.
Yeah.
And I love it for that.
It's surprisingly like you have to cut the wires really quick, especially the first few ones, or else it's your magic bond will drop off in time and you're dead, and then the whole run's gone if it's Savage. But yeah,
because the way it goes, the easiest way to remember it is 1-2 break, 3-4 bait, 3-4 break, 1-2 bait, and then you just do that again, and it's just doing the other mechanics at the same time. I
Say
like
that one more time.
1-2 break, 3-4 bait, 3-4 break, 1-2 bait.
yeah.
I like
you just alternate basically.
Yeah, you're just alternating between responsibilities.
alternating between like cutting wires and baiting AoEs.
Yeah, they throw a couple of other things in there that don't really require too much forethought. Like there's a few ground puddles that spawn, but you can just like 3 and 4 can go back to where they did their first bait, and then they can that way it just leaves the whole middle of the room open. And then the last thing is, I'd say what probably throws people off, the very last mechanic, Cast Shadow, and I noticed this in the first set of Tripwires too. People tend to wait till it's entirely resolved before actually doing the wire breaks, and that is not a good idea on the last one especially.
Oh, it's probably too slow.
Yeah, because the last bait needs to. We had somebody who just barely didn't make it on our Savage clear, but we only killed the healer, and it was like, we don't need that guy. We're done.
What healer?
I mean, it's fine. Like we had a run where somebody died to the second 3/4 cleave, and then we had to sack someone to do the second 1/2 cleave, and with just myself in the tank, we got from like 11% to 4% before the enrage or something, which is 5 minutes and 43 seconds, I think, for the hard enrage on the encounter itself. They're all like 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes 40, something like that.
In normal mode?
In normal and Savage, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because they all have hard enrages. Like even in Criterion Savage, they have hard enrages. Just if you're hitting them, not good. Yeah. Well, you're probably not going to clear the 24 minutes.
We saw these hard enrage on the second boss, right, Stal?
Yeah, because someone went AFK.
Oh man.
Wait, they go AFK in Savage?
Yeah.
It was a family thing, so
okay,
yeah.
It was like our first pull to the final boss, and then we couldn't. We went there and he had to AFK for like a minute, and then we hit enrage at like 20%.
That's a lot. Hey, but you know what? Practice.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wait, Saul, were you on? No, you weren't. You weren't on the State of the Realm where I started reading the forums, were you?
No.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh, that would be a good one.
You
Forums
know.
are like on another level, man.
no, but I think
boy.
I remember I was reading through a thread, and I think one of the posts said it was from. I don't think it was the same one, but it said the person's character name was King Jeffo.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was about, but I remember seeing.
I gotta go back through.
Yeah,
Okay, we need to know. We need to know now.
Yeah, let me go back through. This was
Some Mocha shit.
I don't remember what it was, but I just remember I was reading. I was like, wait, this says it was posted by one King Jeff. Oh, it was the Zeppla one. Yeah, it was during the Zeppla State of the Realm that had no direction whatsoever. So that's how we ended up on the forums.
Yeah.
We were reading the tags.
Jeff, what the fuck did you say?
I remember saying, like, look at this post. This post is ridiculous. And I was like, wait, it says this was posted by King Jeff. I was like, is this the same one? Well, you're not the only. You're not the only King Jeffo out there. Listen, there was a Mr. Happy on Exodus who played Black Mage, who used to get people sending me spiteful messages, be like, dude, you're such a fucking dick in that party we were just in. And I was like, bro, I'm playing Pokemon, right? What are you talking about right now? Imposter, fake Jeffo. Oh yeah, the question was just, why does the UI in this game? It was a question for Ishikawa for the live letter, and the question was, why does this game's UI suck so much? Posted by King Jeffo.
Jeffo, you sure that's still ain't you?
He did post it. Wait, he admitted it.
Oh no.
Bro, I don't use the forums, by the way.
And then all of a sudden, oh shit, yeah, I did do that.
Exposed. Bro, I don't use the
Oh
forums.
my god. Best moment ever.
I fucking ratted out. I'm glad this story came full circle because I never followed up on it.
Yeah.
And I really did mean to. Okay. Whew. Why is this game's UI but wasn't it a question for like Ishikawa or something? I was like, wait, this doesn't belong here.
How are you
It's gotta
not
be
banned from
during
the
one of
forums
the
yet?
segments where like, was this during? I think I remember the UI person on the live letter at some point in time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can't remember.
They did have the UI.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't have been that long ago. The Zeppla episode wasn't that long ago. So Yeah, that was. Oh, but I was going through old ones. Right. I wasn't going through the current ones. I was going through old ones. Why does this game's UI suck so much? Oh, exposed. That's great. That's a highlight for the show right there. And yeah, and then we're done with Criterion. We did it. Now my banner is hanging up in my apartment.
Did you actually get the banner?
I did get the banner. I can't see the earrings with my hood on, with the fucking Abyssos hood. I can't see. I don't even have eyeballs anymore.
I haven't traded mine yet. I'm still deciding.
The earrings, they're so small.
Yeah.
I zoom in all the way. I still can't see.
That was the same
I think I'm gonna get that crit material.
No, I have a better idea. Don't spend
it.
Don't spend the manuscript.
Okay.
When all 3 Criterion are out, they're going to put out a reward for having one of each manuscript. I'm calling it.
Oh, I'm keeping mine.
That's it. Now, here's the thing. They might not do that, and you might just have 3 absolutely useless manuscripts. Or I'm right, and you get something cool out of it. So
They're already useless, though, so I don't really lose anything.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm keeping mine.
And that was kind of the last thing to touch upon, because through all of Variant and Criterion, as much as we talked about the content and enjoying the design of it, the reward I think the reward structure for Variant, most people are relatively okay with. It gives some tomes. You can actually get like minions and stuff from it. So, and all of it can be sold. Like, people have been selling those noir pieces for like millions of gil because of these lazy motherfuckers who just do not want to do the content before buying it. Yeah. But when you get to Criterion, it becomes a lot more, I look what I've done, and that's kind of all it is. Rewards, I suppose. For normal mode, where you at least, I can't imagine you were that thrilled about 4 silver coins.
And a chair.
No, the chair is 100 coins.
Chairs from, yeah.
You can get the chair from the chest. I know a few people who have. Like outright without getting it's like the Rathalos mount where you can still get it.
Yeah.
Without
But you're probably not gonna get it, huh?
Probably not. No. But 4 coins. 4 coins clear. That's a great reward after you beat it the first time.
Yeah. You know, just for 4 out of 100.
For one thing.
I can't believe Savage doesn't give coins, though.
Yeah, they don't give you any coins at all for Savage. You only get the manuscript. Which...
Here's your 1 singular earring.
Or your
a
1
banner
singular
or a singular materia.
Yeah. One
Good
materia.
job. A+ for effort.
Listen. I can't doubt that they didn't want to go too crazy with the rewards when they don't know what the actual participation rate is going to be. But I think they knew that 1 materia was not enough and did it anyway. Because
I think it was some missed opportunity for Adventure Plate.
That too. The fact that we have ultimate plates and we did not get a Criterion plate. Somebody tweeted me what the Criterion plate would have looked like. It's, you know how for the ultimate ones, it's like the accent along the outside is like some symbol that's just out on the. It's literally just a giant C. So.
Well, I'm sorry.
Why?
See, it works. I approve. I approve, Stal. I approve.
Yeah, and to be clear, there's a plate, but it's not like a I beat Criterion Savage plate. It's just like a variant themed plate. I think it is even variant. I think it's from the variant currency too. The thing. I don't think it's from Criterion currency, but either way, it's not like Ultimate where you beat it and you suddenly have all of you have this like plate and accent and everything. It's literally just you buy it with 8 soul. Yeah, you need 2 clears to get the plate from Criterion normal. But I want a Savage plate. It's not fair. It really feels like they were afraid to make Savage worth anything. Like afraid.
Because Savage, I think they said like Savage is kind of like ultimate level.
No,
but they didn't want to name it ultimate. Did they say that?
Yeah, they said normal mode. They said normal mode was extreme, and Savage was Savage.
Oh, I thought they compared it to ultimate because that would kind of make sense.
It's lengthwise comparable to an ultimate.
Yeah, I think that's why, because he did say he wanted to call it ultimate, but he still compared the difficulty to savage. So it was kind of weird.
Because I was thinking if they wanted to say that that's ultimate, then it would kind of make sense why the rewards are so bleh. Because technically it doesn't really appeal to as many people compared to savage, which happens to be normal. But it's still kind of like shitty though.
I think the rewards are. I feel savage it's designed in such a way where, because the bosses have basically the same mechanics as normal. I feel it's designed in such a way where, you've farmed for your throne, which is like 25 clears. So now you're very comfortable on the fights. So then after you farm your throne, you go do the savage once for the title, and I feel that's the idea behind it.
Or maybe just like an extra.
Though? Yeah, is that sufficient?
I have no idea if it's sufficient, but I think that's the idea. It's the lack of rewards does suck.
Well, I've seen a lot of people trying to come up with a solution to the rewards. I mean, some people want just upgrade materials, for example. Like they're just like, yeah, just make it give upgrade materials. But I'm thinking, does that make sense at the same time? Because who are those upgrade materials
I think it's actually too difficult to put like non-cosmetic rewards. Because Savage is actually quite difficult. You have to play pretty much. You can't make a mistake basically over 24 minutes. That's longer than Ultimate.
Yeah, and the most of the people who do this will be obviously you guys weren't, will be Biss, or something close to Biss when they're going
Biss,
through it. Yeah. So an upgrade material might round something out, but it doesn't create like a new gearing option, for example, for like a player. I think that's what people want to see a change towards, at least if not with Savage, but with Criterion, is some other method of obtaining gear after the Savage raid has been out for a while already, for people who either didn't have the time, couldn't do it, or couldn't find 8 people for a commitment. Do you have any alignment with that? Do you think they should try to find a way to incorporate it at least into the normal mode? Or do you think that this content is kind of always going to be relegated to cosmetics, mounts, minions, hairstyles, plates, stuff like that?
Pride.
I wish there...
What?
I wish there was at least some
Pride.
Alternate gear. Pride is yeah. I mean, the content is there to be beaten, right?
Yeah, I just wonder because it's a question of the way they've designed the game up to this point in regards to reward structure. We have a clear expectation of, in an even numbered patch, what content gives what reward, and then in an odd numbered patch catching up. So if this is in between the two, if it is 8 to 10 weeks after, Savage raids would normally be, and it gives rewards from that, then it should be probably equivalent, item level equivalent, everything. Even if they have to sync it down, like just hard sync you to like 610, and then you just can't go over that. So that way it's not about whether you're Biss. But then you have 8 weeks worth of Biss that doesn't do anything. So you now are, it's even worse because your materia slots don't work anymore. So that doesn't make any sense. But then the odd numbered patch rolls around, and now you could just get them from 24-man. So where does gearing factor in from Criterion normal?
It's a difficult, because the gear cycle in this game is so set. It's like if you introduce I don't know. It's like if you introduce 620 gear, it's kind of like it becomes irrelevant after the next patch, right?
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. What I'm trying to get at is Baldesion Arsenal, they managed to keep the content very relevant by making it so the stuff in there was valuable even way down the line. Whether it was a rare minion, the mount from the initial clear, even just making some gil on the go through. It seems like they tried that at the very least with Criterion and Variant. All the stuff is sellable. You can do it as much as you want. Variant, you can do solo. There's no lockouts. None of that. It's approachable and while difficult, still doesn't require as much of an investment. But it's the Savage that they've gone out of their way to... I guess they really didn't go out of their way. They fucking slapped a bunch of numbers, made everything one-shot you, said you have 24 minutes, don't fuck it up. So I wonder if that's why, because if they actually go out of their way and make Savage something more for the next ones, and it isn't just essentially a time attack with an increased difficulty, then I think the question is a little bit more levied to some capacity. But I didn't care. I thought it was fun.
If they make Savage like more than just normal, I can't imagine how long it's going to take to prog though. Because like, imagine you're like progging a mechanic on the final boss, and you have to do 15 minutes just to get there to prog it.
Wow, that sounds really familiar.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I actually think it's interesting. It's kind of like, you know, if someone says, how long would ultimates take if you could practice each phase by itself, and then this maybe gives a bit of insight into that. I mean, obviously, I don't think the fights in the phases are as complicated as ultimate, but it is very long, and if you didn't have normal and there was only Savage, I can't imagine how long progging this would have taken.
I'm telling you, one of them is gonna give you Nisi at the start of the dungeon, and you have to keep it the whole dungeon to do a mechanic.
Oh my god!
Stal gave up.
Stop giving them ideas. Don't give them
I don't want to do
ideas.
this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
I can make it worse if you want.
How?
Oh, you can always make it worse. You can always make it worse, Sly.
I regret that. I regret saying that.
You just need to, I mean, even just adding a second Nisi would do the trick, you know?
Every time you open the door, you have to solve the mechanic while dodging AoEs and passing these things.
Every door.
I honestly think after years of rating, y'all have just become more fucked up after each tier. Y'all really need help. Bro, y'all really need fucking help.
You don't even know. When Eden Ultimate comes out and you have to do light rampant advanced relativity, you're gonna realize what true masochism is.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, because there's definitely got to be an Oracle of Darkness and Shiva double phase.
You don't even think that would be sick? Look at you. You are sick in the head.
This sounds so cool. I want that.
No. Anything with light rampant does not sound cool. Don't need to put a thing on top of it. It's like fried chicken. It's good by itself. Don't fuck it up. Leave it the fuck alone. It's not even good. It's not like fried chicken. Fuck that. It's I don't know. It's just leave it the fuck alone. Don't put anything next to it. Don't put anything with it. Just do light rampant.
I want potatoes. I'm just saying. Is that wrong? Can I not have potatoes? Yeah, you don't have an argument for that, dude.
Potatoes.
You're like, fuck, that sounds good.
I like potatoes. Yeah, potatoes sound
now
good.
You're like, fuck, that sounds good. That's what Stal's saying.
Yeah, light rampant with the relativity. Or Hello World. The Omega one.
Yeah, okay, y'all are really
so many possibilities.
I'm done.
No. By the way, that was why I brought up 8-man tripwires, because I'm like, they're going to do tripwires in Omega Ultimate. There's no way.
That'd be sick.
There's no way Omega doesn't
Hello
have
World
tripwires.
tripwires.
You have to solve the tripwires just to get to positions for help.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be fucking tripwires. It's gonna fucking happen.
Cool mechanic though.
Yeah, cool mechanic. Yeah, the fact that there's no mechanical difference is a certainly thing. And you also have to imagine, remember how we said we're surprised the secret boss isn't in Savage? If it was, this would be a 30-minute in range.
Oh god. And you'd
And you'd only be able, well, I mean, yeah, you'd only be able to practice by going into the 12th path and Variant. Well, not Criterion even, in Variant. And you wouldn't, I mean, Savage is like, that's not going to count for as much, I'd say. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, JP brain dead tripwires. There we go. God damn it. Yeah, there's a world of pain ahead of us, is what I'm learning from Criterion and everything. And
Maybe that's why there's the spinny clockwise thing. Cause in Omega, in O12S, there's like the spinning thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the
Oh
Oh
my
god, they're
fists.
just preparing.
The fists.
They're testing mechanics.
Rotating
we're-
fists.
We're just their guinea pigs.
Oh, we need to go back into normal queue. I need to practice that.
Oh, you know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be fists flying across the room, and if they touch the tripwires, they explode. But some of the fists have numbers on them, so you have to disarm the one. So you have to disarm the one so the fist 2 can go through, but before fist 4 hits, 3 needs to disarm the other one, so then fist 5 can hit. But then the other 4 players who don't have the tripwire debuffs actually have stack and spread mechanics, and they have to do those. Some fists have knives on them and apply slashing debuff. There you go. And then the fists fly through portals, so then they get rotated to another side.
Oh my god.
And since it's Eden, the portals have to be color coded as well, right? Oh no, it's not Eden's Omega, but
I
they
really
could
need
pick-
to learn Japanese and apply for those jobs, huh? That's...
The fuck you don't.
I'm just trying to make the game more fun.
No.
Gonna have
No.
some like sick ultimate raid.
Sly, I just know what the people want.
See, what Yoshi P really meant by like posting those jobs and everything is like everybody but y'all.
I mean, it's dude. I can imagine the you know the meme with the 2 dudes where they shake their hands, like the 2 like muscular guys. It's just me and Mr. Ozma, just like. Don't worry, Sly. I promise that if I do ever,
I'm gonna quit my group. I'm just gonna be a crafter. I'm not even raiding anymore.
Sly,
Fuck all this shit. No.
Sly, I promise that if I get the job, that I will stop going easy on you. Okay.
Great.
Dude, just wait for Warring Triad Ultimate. You haven't even seen Pain.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and let my raid know that I'm just gonna send them their last bit of drugs and food, and I am not coming in this week for raid. So
I didn't make this week's raid, Sly. You don't have to worry about that yet.
No, I just like a future with Happy making raids is not a future I want to live in.
But I thought this was the couples episode. We always have a future. And it all comes back around. All right. Anyway, we're a little bit over time, but it's been fun just messing around with this topic. Glad we got to discuss it.
Has it?
That's it.
Has it?
Yeah. Sly, you're gonna love it.
I don't even want to do it at this point.
Sly, I didn't make this one. I don't make this one less fun. I just gave you all the strats. Now it's not even blind anymore. You're gonna forget because you see it and it's just like it won't make a difference. But
Yeah. Like I said, like I'm essentially going in blind no matter what content I see. I'm gonna forget it day one and just learn on the fly.
Mouse. Yeah, enjoy that stupid fucking mouse.
They're great. I think, apart from some of visual clarity, the fights, the design is great. They're a lot of fun.
I have a feeling the visual clarity thing is not going to be less of a problem in the future.
Yeah.
After doing DSR, I don't think there's going to be less visual clutter going forward. Putting it mildly. Oh, but it's yeah. See, Frosty, you trust Frosty? Yeah, I guess that's fair. I would trust.
I trust.
Yeah,
I trust Frosty.
that's good.
I trust him. Yeah.
Sly, we should raid together. Is this whole conversation? Yep, there it is. There it is. That's the icing on the cake right there. We should. God damn it! No. No. That's messed up, man. She just wanted to raid with you and you have fun, and you're just not fun. Next thing you know, you're not gonna want to do Mario Party. So.
I already don't want to do Mario Party.
Still, I gotta get him to do Mario Party.
When are we debating it?
Tell him we're raiding. All right. Ask him again if he wants to raid, and then instead we'll just go do Mario
You know,
Party.
that's not even gonna help. I already just said no to her rating. Like no to rating with her. Like,
again.
I mean, that's
Sly, we should raid together.
Say you have cookies.
yeah.
I have cookies.
There we go. That's it.
No, I haven't done cookies in a while, so no, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Ask him if he
Do
wants.
what?
They soggy cookies stuff.
Tell him you have Bojangles.
What's that?
It's a food thing in the States.
Wait, I need to Google it now. I don't have it here.
It's chicken. He has it like he buys it a lot, and it's really good. It's really good.
Bojangle.
Yeah. Sly, we're gonna meet in LA, and I'm gonna go to. Oh man, Sly, you know what? Let's do this. We'll go to LA. All right. We'll go get Howlin' Rays, and the loser has to eat the Howlin' wing from Mario Party.
Like the one that
the one.
The really bad one.
The one that made me not able to eat for 3 days. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. See, I got him to say yes. Good. Done. Awesome. Got it.
Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. With that, I think we can start wrapping up the show. We got him. I knew I could get him with a challenge. It's gonna be fun. All right. Well, Q, Stal, thank you for taking time out of your very cursed schedule. I have no idea how much this is an inconvenience or a convenience for you, but I thank you for the time all the same.
We're
It's
normally
perfect.
up. Stal is always up at this time, even though it's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I wake up around that time. I feel that. That's fine.
Oh.
I mean, that's some overlap, right?
Yeah.
Stal sleeps at 9 a.m. Oh, so you still got a few hours before bed. Okay, perfect. Vampire schedule. That's going to work out. Well, before I do our sponsor reads and everything for the end of the show, as our guests, you are free to tell them where they can find you at. We'll start with Q.
You can find me on Twitter at Qoya, or you can find me on Stal Stream. Twitch.tv/Stal. That's all.
That's all.
Go watch. Go watch Stal Stream.
God damn. Q intro. Is that a thing? Q intro. I don't know. That's what the chat says.
I don't. What does that mean?
I don't know. Stal, do you?
Wait. No, I don't know what this is.
Stal, where can they find you at? What are you on? What are you doing right now?
Planning to play more Genshin Impact. You can find me on twitch.tv/Stal. Twitter.com/StalVTuber. Same handle, StalVTuber for YouTube and TikTok as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being on. Sly, you good?
Not really.
What? Okay. Well,
But,
where can they find? What can they find you being better?
you can find me on twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly the Fox. Yeah, I'm doing stuff. Just like I don't even want to. You just suck the fun out of it. All y'all just suck the fun out of it. I hate y'all. I play 14, but they're just sucking the fun out of it. Play 14, and I'm gonna do Criterion next week. Still playing 11. Of course, I'm playing fucking Gundam. Of course. Speaking of which, actually making a video about that for the UTubs. I'm doing editing. Yay. But yeah, I'm making an introductory video to GBO2 because I really feel like more people should play it. It's fucking fun. And just an introductory video. And of course, doing a suit preview for a suit I can't say right now because, NDA and whatnot, but there's some good shit coming. So Please look forward to it. Hi. And I'll probably be on GBO too, like right after this, before Allure, because it's Friday. I'm probably not gonna pull. I'm probably not gonna do any pulls. I'm just gonna do some matches.
Sly, it's never good
Fuck
in a
you,
gacha
Happy.
game.
Fuck
when
you, Happy.
Lead with I'm probably not gonna. That is
Fuck
the
you,
admission that
Happy.
you already thought about doing it.
I'm just gonna do matches today before Allure. We're not doing any polls. We're just gonna do matches.
Yeah,
There is
we
a new
believe
banner.
you.
There is a new banner, but we're just gonna do matches.
Sure.
Shut up, Stal. Happy, where can they find you?
You can find me just staying busy with the 16 trailer and some of the news that came out. I still have to catch up on some content creation for that. Fantastic trailer. Not to mention the busy season is almost upon us. Fortunately, with Criterion behind and the Relic not being all too involved, just a matter of staying on top of Omicrons and the videos I need to make. Criterion Guide, recorded that before this. That's gonna be like 40 minutes long, so it's gonna be a hell of a time. But then we have Stranger of Paradise with the Gilgamesh DLC on the 26th, Star Ocean Divine Force on the 26th. There's Tactics Ogre next month. There is there's Harvestella next month. There is Pokemon next month. There's Sonic next month. There's things. I don't know how I'm gonna do it all. There's things. There's a lot of fucking things. Sly, we wailing?
No. I understand there's a new banner, but no, not on this banner. No.
You just do a little dolphin,
No.
Just a little dolphin.
No, not even a fish. We just do matches. We're just doing matches.
Whale's also not a fish. That's fine. They are indeed mammals.
So if a whale is a mammal that spends a lot, a mammal that doesn't spend a lot is a hamster.
I'll take it.
Thank you to our sponsors for watching the show. Thank you to again our supporters over on Patreon. Don't have to, but they do support us, and of course Steelseries and Advanced GG. Don't forget the giveaway for Steelseries in the description of the YouTube video. And on that note, I am finally going to get to eat the soup.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's just been sitting there. You haven't even slurped all episode besides like the first time you did, so it's probably cold as hell.
It's not hot. It's not hot, but it's not cold.
It's lukewarm.
Yeah,
It's lukewarm.
it's room temperature.
Yeah.
And it's still delicious,
Yeah.
so I don't mind. Now, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week. We'll cover the rest of the 6.25 content, and I'm going to see about one other thing for next week as well.
Is it the thing?
No, if it was the thing, Sly, I'd have to give you more heads up. We wouldn't be able to be prepared for the thing by next week. Okay. To be fair, we could, but I'd have
Watch me work, dude. Come on now.
I'd have told you already that we were doing it. Because the secret show.
Okay.
It'll come around, don't worry. But thanks again for YouTubing on. We're going to go into a short post show so that I can let all of our fellow State of the Realmers go for the day. And thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's a good way to end the show. I'm sorry.